Hello, beautiful friends. This video is a little bit later than I intended. It was interesting because I really wanted to share a video today. And this morning when I woke up, a thought came in my head about what it might be. And then as I started exploring that thought, it expanded into another one and another one that took me on this rabbit hole of connectedness to many different things, which then brought me to a place I'm really not sure about what that's going to be. But I was actually okay with that. My way of living has become, especially this year and the tail end of last year, is that about I will not pursue something unless I feel like I'm in flow. So maybe this video is about allowing yourself to be in flow as much as you can. And I know there are constraints in certain ways in our lives where we have to be at a particular place at a particular time, that we have appointments, that we have work that we're committed to, a multitude of different things in this life, but that my life would be in flow of things that had resonance from my heart, and that it's clear, and that it's not that I'm thinking I need to make something happen. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about in flow, that if something feels off to me, whether it's an invite to something, whether it's an offer of something, whether it's this window in my day where there's space and nothing's been put in it, that I'll listen to the flow within here. So today's post, this share, is about being in flow. And when I mean that, I mean about there's no push with something. So not pushing to make something happen. There's a very different feel. When we feel we have to do something, like there's this urgency, but this urgency isn't coming from a peaceful place. It's coming from I have to get this done, as opposed to that feels so good to get this done. And within that, then maybe you can feel it from in here, from in your heart, that I need to do this now, as opposed your head saying, right, let's get it done. It's got more of an agitation feeling to it. It's not got this effortless feel to it. And I've been getting so much better at allowing myself to be in that flow and not trying to make things happen. So there may be something I feel I should have done. For example, I had intended to do a video this morning. Now, in the past, I would have probably gotten where I was in that place where I thought I had an idea and I was exploring that idea about what the topic was. And then it went into all these different things. And in the past, it wouldn't have been surprising where I tried to make something happen because I intended to do it this morning, so I better do it this morning. But hey, if I'm forcing it, it's coming from a very different place than from this inspired moment where I hadn't planned it to be right now, where it is now in flow. And I had no idea when I came on what the topic I was going to share with you. And as soon as I started talking about being in flow, it was clear what the topic is that I'm sharing with you. Being in flow, being the flow of life. And even in those things where we've made an appointment, we've made a commitment where we have to go to work, we can still be in flow of whatever that commitment is by our connection. So, for example, when I was working in mainstream, which isn't that long ago, it was only last July that experience for me was completed. In my going to work, there were often times where I really didn't want to go, didn't want to do what it was, that I felt pressure within that. And the way I found to be able to be in flow was in my connection with my heart and setting a heart-anchored intention of my day. It was a very full-on role within a bank in their financial hardship team. So dealing with people in very difficult circumstances, assisting them in the best way I could by how I spoke to them, how I treated them. That was me being in flow with my heart. That actually was the easiest part of the job for me. That doesn't mean to say I didn't get challenged at times, because I did. But anytime we get challenged, we can feel that there's a resistance within us and we're not in flow, that we're not in connection. So what I used to do most days, my drive to work was my getting in flow. The traffic never bothered me. Even if there was an accident on the expressway or a hold up on the expressway in some way, so everyone's queuing up. It didn't happen that often. But no matter what was on this journey of my drive into work, I allowed myself to be in flow and connection with my inner being and know that things I can't do anything about are what they are. And there came the peace and the ability to be in flow of whatever presents itself on that journey just to work. And then before I used to go into the building, I used to intentionally connect into my heart space and set an intention of being the highest expression of who I could be, aligned to my heart's wisdom. That is in a place of peace and seeing through the eyes of love as much as I could. Did it get challenged? Boy, it did. However, by setting that intention, the flow through my day very often was relatively easy. And at those times I did get challenged and find I wasn't in flow, it's like I hit a wall of something or someone, whether it's the monitoring of the work I did, which is normal these days in a workplace that's a contact center of some sort. Excuse me. But I'd find a way to get back in connection, which enabled me to be in flow of my heart space, not in flow of, well, not in the restricted head thinking around challenges that were either people, systems, whatever it was. So you know when you're not in flow by how you're reacting, responding. When you're on an inspired moment, and that may be sometimes when you're just out in nature and you feel the urge to go this way and not that way, you're in flow. When you're, for example, in a workplace, it may be someone's putting on a presentation, it might be something that you do, that when you are in flow, you feel it. It's just like there's no effort with it. It's just free flowing. And you know that you're expressing that knowledge, that wisdom. effortlessly. You're in flow. And there are times where you may find you're in your head more and it feels more stilted. And that can be the same in anything that we do. So my suggestion for you, as much as you can, to be aware of when you're not in flow. And when you find yourself where you feel like you're in this place of frustration, where you feel like everything getting in your way, stopping you from being in flow. There's one place you can be in flow, and that's in connection to your heart. So connect into your heart. And you can do that in so many simple ways, but one of the most powerful ones is utilizing your breath and tapping on the center of your heart. So before we sign off for this short video, and it is a very short one today, I'd love to just guide you to a place of connection. And I know if you've been watching any of my videos, you've heard and seen me do this before. For those who work with me, you probably know it's a bit of a calling card to help you to connect and reset and allow yourself to be in flow. Okay. So take the time right now to gift yourself awareness of your breath. Don't do anything else, just awareness of your breath. You may notice whether your breaths are short, tense, deeper, calm. You may notice that you haven't been fully breathing your full breath for whatever reason, but it's time to come in flow consciously with your breath and allow yourself to connect into your heart space. So first of all, just intentionally draw in a deep breath in through your nostrils, deep into your body, and you may feel your abdomen rising as you do so, this conscious breath. And just hold that breath for a moment, for a few moments. Just holding it there. Now very slowly release through a slightly open mouth, just letting the breath go. Notice how your body's softening. It's relaxing. Now what I want you to do, as you take in this next deep breath, is to gently tap in the center of your chest. And you may well find that soothing even before you do that conscious breath. Just very lightly, just tap here. And just breathe in deeply. Maybe shut your eyes now as you do this. Just close your eyes ever lightly and breathe in deeply. And just hold that breath for a few moments before very slowly exhaling through a slightly open mouth. And noticing how your body's softening. It's relaxing. It's in flow. Breathing in through the nose, holding that breath for a few moments before fully releasing slowly. And just be in the stillness of that now. And just be in flow. And invite gentle flow into your life. Ease and flow. And your breath and this gentle tapping on the heart space is a powerful tool to bring balance and calm and enable flow. Honor that flow within you. whenever you can. Even at those times when you feel like you're restricted because of things you have to do. You can connect and utilize your breath to enable you to reset, to enable you to be in flow with those things you do have to do, that you have a commitment to, and invite peace and ease into whatever that is. And at those times when you have windows of space, choose to take notice. When you can feel there's a resistance within you, when you can feel there's not resonance, and then investigate. So you may get an invitation to do something, to go somewhere, and you're feeling a resistance to it. Just inquire what that resistance is. It may be that there's something within you that has a fear around whatever that is. And that acknowledgement in itself is an opportunity of investigation to create flow into whatever that fear or worry or concern is around that. And yes, it does open things open up, and you may end up needing to go deeper. But before you make a decision, it's just being awareness when there's a resistance of something. In the same token, you may have a resistance, and as you explore it, or you realize it's not in resonance with your heart, with your truth, what you know would be for your highest benefit, your highest good, which in turn is the same for everybody. And it may be that there's a resistance for you to say no, that you don't want to. You're fearful of saying no, and feel you need to comply and say yes. So resetting and connecting can be really helpful to know when you're in flow. And as you address whatever isn't in flow, where there's this wall, you investigate it and you create the space for flow to occur. And sometimes to get that flow to occur, we need to recognize it and say, actually, I really know that doesn't resonate for me. And in the past, you may have said yes to please others. When you allow yourself to say, actually, no, that doesn't fit for me, and voice it, the flow begins again. And it feels easy. And you think, oh, that feels so good. A bit like me this morning, when it came in that this particular topic, which I actually can't even remember now, but what I do remember is that this topic came in my head and I started exploring it about how I deliver this to you. Really funny. And then it expanded into another topic because there was this interconnectedness with it, and it went into another one and another one. It's just like, whoa, this could be a very long share. However, what that did is like, hang on a minute, this doesn't feel very in flow. I'm really not really sure what I'm meant to do here. Do I just come on and just wing it? And it's just like, no, it doesn't feel right. So I left it. And here we are. I had this sudden moment of coming on here and sharing with you, not knowing whether I'd actually be recording it and sharing it per se, or whether I'd record it and delete it. But it's evolved into this sharing about the gift of being in flow. And it's wonderful when you have awareness of it and you recognize it. So gift yourself opportunities to be in flow and recognize when you're not. Recognize when you're not. And utilize your breath. Utilize with your breath that connection to your heart. Enable your being to reset, become calm at those times when you feel like you're bashing up against a wall, where you can feel there's resistance. And as you bring in the calm, you start to be in flow again. And even if you, through this connection, with your eyes shut, with your breath, with your connection to your heart, what can I let go of here? What do I need to know here to allow myself to be in flow? Sometimes it's just about accepting this is something I just need to do instead of resisting what is. So have a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and trust in your connection. Trust in your connection to your heart. Trust in your gift of your breath, and allow yourself to be in flow. Blessings and much love to everyone. Love you. Bye for now.